What's going on, guys? Let's get this going. Let's see here. All right. Make sure it's going okay. Sweet. If you guys can hear me, just let me know in the chat, please. All right. Okay. Looks like it's going. Okay. Sweet. All right, guys. Today we're going to talk about best Seller Central practices. Just talk about some of the main points, just some of the main things that came to mind when just starting your Seller Central account as well as maintaining it. There's a lot of things you got to look out for essentially to make sure you don't get yourself in trouble there. And then we'll go over Q&A questions here. So let's start with best practices here. Okay, so we'll start first with like best setting up. Now, I know you guys have heard me talk about setup on Seller Central accounts at nauseating amounts. So I'll just quickly go over these things and go over the more important things once the account's up and running. But best for setting up, again, this is kind of basic, but double check all your info before submitting. Obviously, it's a nightmare to try to fix things once it's already been submitted versus doing it right the first time. So double check, make sure there's no typos, everything like that. Of course, make sure you have your, if you're going to use an LLC, have that set up, have your EIN ready, have your business bank account ready, have a credit card ready, have your driver's license, passport, depending on where you're at, documentation for that. And when you're submitting that stuff, obviously, again, just double check everything. And then, if you get in trouble there, as far as, needing more information, just know that's pretty normal. I'd say about 40 to 50% of people go through that regardless. So even if you did everything perfectly. Going on to the more fun stuff here. So once you have your account up and running, okay, what things we need to look out for? Okay, the first thing I want to talk about is IQI score, so your inventory quality index. I believe it stands for. Not sure there, but anybody know? But anyways, it's essentially the score they give you on your inventory on FBA. It's something you need to watch like a hawk because if you go under, I believe it's 500, you will not be able to put more inventory in, right? Or if you can, it's going to be, you're going to pay more for long-term storage fees, things like that. The biggest thing to look at is just how long the inventory has been in there and what's the sell rate of it. Okay, it's meaning that if you're not moving product, they know, and they're going to drop your score and saying like, hey, at this rate, you're never going to sell out. It's going to be 2 years. You're going to go into long-term storage. Obviously, there's some other small things that go into there, but those are the two big main drivers. The other things that go into it are, unfulfillable inventory just chilling there. You can remove that, put on auto removal, which I'll talk about how to do that here in a second. And then we have, what else there? I'm blanking there. IQI. So it's in, yeah, just know that those are the two biggest drivers there. I'm missing a little component in there. I forget off the top of my head what that is, but you can easily click into the score and literally see your dashboard on it and go through every single thing. And you can look, like I have 3 unfillable units. I have this issue, that issue. My sell-through rate on these 4 items are not high enough. You can literally see in the back end everything there. So just a reminder to watch that. Next one's huge. So watch order defect rates. This can get your product taken down. You can go to account health essentially. So if you go to performance, account health, and your dashboard there, you can see all the orders that have come in and been claimed defective. Either someone says it was broken, counterfeit, didn't work at all, blah, blah, blah. Essentially, it's a sure way for that customer to get a refund, definitely. So sometimes it's a lie, but if you keep getting multiple of these, you probably have a bigger issue. These complaints could have comments next to them. You can look at those comments and make sure you're doing everything everything you can to possibly, get those down, right? Prevent those from happening again. If you have a certain percentage of order defect rate, say over 5% over, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, there's a good chance your product could be taken down. Now there's certain categories that can allow higher order defect rates like electronics, things like that. But overall, we want to keep it under 5 for sure. Under 2% would be best. Okay. Next, we want to look at customer messages. So just making sure you're clearing those out, under 24 hours. Literally have one of the first tabs at the top there is customer messages, making sure customers are taken care of or, A lot of them are just nonsense. So you just put no response needed. And then, there's a good time or a good amount of times too where customers will reach out for you to fix an issue. And this is a good chance to avoid a negative review, avoid a return, and just make the customer right, whether it's refunding them right up front there, maybe send them a new product with multi-channel fulfillment, everything like that. Next, I want to talk about further into account health. So policy compliance. Okay, so you'll have performance notifications as well as policy compliance. Again, if you go underneath that performance tab in the menu there, you'll see all these tabs there. Now, policy compliance, if you just click account health overall, you can scroll down, you can see policy compliance is just markers. Like you have a trademark infringement here, trademark complaint here, and there's just like 10 or 12 other ones, whether it's, patent infringement, some other things going on with your products, things like that. You want to make sure everything says 0, okay? If they, you have a 1 there, a 2 here, you need to click into those and figure those out because those lead to account suspensions in full, okay? It could be your product being taken down, say it's a patent issue, but if you keep infringing on things or making these, policy compliance issues, essentially just, messing around with Amazon's TOS and borderline, there's also review manipulation. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's pretty much categorizing. If Amazon thinks you're manipulating reviews, you'll get a flag there, and if that keeps happening, that product's gonna be gone. So take a look back there, make sure you have all zeros back there. Just keep an eye on that as well as performance notifications. And then clicking into settings. Okay, so probably the most important tab on settings is fulfillment by Amazon. So that's all the way at the bottom there. So this is how your returns are handled. So you can click through here, go figure out how your unfulfillable inventory is taken care of, whether you can have Amazon look at it, repackage it, put it back on the shelf if it's fine. You can have Amazon destroy it, send it home, liquidate it. So you need to go figure out what's best for you in that circumstance, right? So if it's more expensive goods, I want Amazon sending it back to me, so I can inspect it, maybe repackage it, send it back in. If it's cheaper, I usually have them dispose of it because it's just not worth my time. If your product has certain package requirements, maybe it's vacuum sealed or the package is a big element of it. And if someone returns that package is obviously destroyed and Amazon's just throwing that in a carton. Well, if that's going to make the experience poorly for the customer, you want to send all those home or destroy them because you don't want Amazon repackaging these returned items that are still sellable and then your customer getting something that looks like crap, right? Or just not in the function it needs to be. Also back here in fulfillment by Amazon settings, you can turn on global selling. So what this does is it allows customers to buy US products, say you're in the US market for this circumstance, and allows customers to pay customs on that and ships it around the world. I always turn this on because why not? You don't have to do anything here. It's not like you're opening a .ca account, a Canadian account, a Mexican account. Okay, you still have access to those things, but it's a lot different process because again, customers are ordering through customs and their delivery time's much slower, and Amazon's taking care of that all for you. Now, when you want to go sell in Canada, you want to actually open that Canadian account, make a shipping plan there, create your listing there, and actually send inventory into Canada. That's much different. That's when you can actually get into 2-day shipping in those countries, okay? Next, we have barcode settings. So there's been some issues there with people. You can have the manufacturer barcode or the Amazon barcode in the settings, okay? So if it's accidentally set on manufacturing barcode, again, this is all in settings, fulfillment by Amazon. Amazon could be expecting a UPC code instead of a FN SKU or an Amazon barcode. For me personally, I always want the Amazon barcode to be my default because I want to use the FN SKU because that identifies me as a seller and the product. And if someone else starts selling your product, illegally or hijacking, whatever it may be, Amazon can see essentially what seller that is, right? There'll be a different FN SKU for both of you, even though you have the same exact product, or they at least claim they have the exact same product. With the UPC, it looks exactly the same. So who's counterfeit, right? It's harder to tell that way. But that's just my personal settings. What I like to do there. Again, if you have something like wholesale or something like that, UPC makes sense, right? But those are the biggest things for me to look at. Obviously, there's tons of smaller things like checking your ACOS, looking at business reports, things like that, right? But that's more into seller metrics where this is more about settings on Seller Central itself, okay? So hopefully that was helpful in some regard. Let's get into questions here. Get rid of that. All right, make sure this is still working. All right, looks like everybody can hear me, so that's good. Sweet, we got some messages in the chat we'll get to at the end here if you stick around. All right. So this is the Facebook group Q&A. If you guys want to get into that, just click the link down below in the description of this video, and you can apply to get in the Facebook group. It's free. First, we have Brandon McCarthy. What should I do when my product arrives to Amazon? How can I boost my sales as well as gain traffic to my page? So we got to send traffic to it, right, Brandon? So what is that? Well, first step for me is PPC. We also want to get in the Vine program to get reviews going if possible, okay? If you got any sources of external traffic, this is when you're going to send that to it as well. Family and friends helping you out, this is the time you do it as well. So your first push as hard as you can, obviously within range. You don't want to spend, $50 a day on PPC probably, maybe $20 to $30, but you're going to start that right away. What I personally like to do is try PPC first, get in the Vine program, make sure A+ content's up, maybe get a video listing. Again, depends how sure you are of the product when you first start. And then what I'm gonna do is 2 weeks of PPC data, kind of see how that works. I look at the data, make adjustments. If that's not fruitful, and if I'm not liking the traction of that, I'm usually sending some external traffic, whether that's TikTok, influencers, YouTube Shorts, whatever it is. Pick one, go after it, get things done there. So you're trying to essentially figure out what your best route is and push traffic that way. So PPC is still the best way to start usually. But if it's more competitive, you're going to have a lot harder time to do that right away. Dave Peters. Hey, Cameron, my ACOS is nowhere near saving again. It's through the roof. Do you suggest pausing PPC and adjust my listing, then start a new manual and auto campaign? Yeah, you can. First thing I'd look at is go in your business reports and look through your order session percentage, essentially your conversion rate. Definitely check that before. I like to keep PPC going, at least a little bit all the time. So if you want to pause that, make new campaigns while you adjust the listing, that's probably what I would do. But again, it depends on where you're at in a hole there. Think about what's causing this, right? It's like you're not ranking high enough. You don't have enough reviews. Your conversion rate's too low. These are the things that make PPC unfruitful. So we got to address those things. Oscar Leon, when do I know I'm good to stop PPC for one keyword? I'm already ranked within the first options. That's why I'm asking. I never stop PPC, even if I'm ranked number one for that keyword, because I want to be first site always. So I want to keep essentially my foot on the throat of the other competition. Plus, if they see an ad in your product first, they're going to see your product twice. Do you know that's like doubling your chances of them clicking on your product? Okay, so you're literally getting 2 spots in the front on a search. That's huge. So I'm never stopping, even if I'm ranked number one, I'm not stopping PPC for that keyword. Nash Ortiz Lewis. Hey Cameron, hope you're doing well. Thank you. I was wondering if you've tried hiring Amazon influence to do a positive post, to do Amazon posts live, or do you use posts for your products? Is it effective for marketing your products? Thanks. So I haven't had much success with live or posts. I think with Amazon Prime Day coming around, I think posts are good. Might as well do that as well. If you have Instagram or anywhere else you're posting anyways, I like to recycle that content and just post it on Amazon regardless. With lives, reach out. I would try 4 to 10 people, try to keep the cost low with lives and see what happens there. If something clicks and you're doing well with that, then double down on that influencer, right? So I like to bulk test influencers that are cheaper and see which one kind of clicks for me and then double down on that. So yes, I've never had much success with Amazon posts or live. Doesn't mean they can't work. Just I think in my niches, just doesn't make a lot of sense. But in some niches, it would make a lot of sense. Like I have some clients that their products would absolutely slaughter there. To get an idea of what makes sense to, just go watch the lives with the influencers and see what products they're promoting, right? They'll kind of, if there's a common theme, like they're just doing clothing, like, okay, that's probably who you want to talk to, right? If you're selling clothing, of course. Next, Jessica Dawson. I'm in the trademarking process and I've noticed the names of the brands seem to be random letters or not really names that make sense. I thought the trademark should be from my LLC, but it seems it should be a different name. Should the name be just a random name separate from my LLC? Thanks so much for your time. Jessica, it's your brand name and it needs to be nothing like your LLC name. It can be, but it doesn't need to be. You're picking a brand that best fits your product. That's what you're trademarking. Oscar, just got this. Yeah, it's just unfulfillable inventory, Oscar. Just removes. It's probably a return that was no good. Keith Bennis, hi Cam, when launching a new product, which have you found to be more effective? To have the price listed at a heavily discounted price and then slowly raise it later on, or list at a target price higher and put a heavy coupon discount on there instead, both being the same discount amount. Lower the price. So price first, coupon second. What I like to do is I like to have a coupon and lower the price. So I meet somewhere in the middle, right? If you're at $20, but you can lower your price to 15, you know, at $20, you say you have a $5 coupon, right? I would lower your price to like, say, I don't know, $17.50, $17 and put like a 10% coupon on. That puts you around that $15 mark. Obviously do the math there, but I like to coupon for impulse buys, and I like a lower price because you're going to rank higher in the algorithm. You're also going to have get a better click-through rate from customers because you're seen as a lower price versus the competition. Where the coupon, yeah, that's nice, but if we see a $25 product next to a $20 product, you know, and there's a coupon on the $25 one, they still first see that price and they're going to click through that one if the product looks identical, right? Hi Cam, my products were supposed to be delivered to Amazon June 23rd, but they got delayed, won't arrive till 12th to the 14th. The problem is I already put they'll arrive June 23rd. Amazon won't let me change the delivery window to July 12th to 14th. You should be okay. Just try not to let that happen again. I always put like 2 weeks barrier on the back end of that to make sure I'm safe. Dave Peters, would you recommend pausing listing while it's being optimized and also PPC since hardly any sales are being generated? No, I just keep it live. Just keep pushing. No need to take it down just because you're not making sales. If you're down, you can't make a sales, right? So maybe something comes through. I don't know. Let's go to the chat here. All right. What's up, John? What's up, Oscar? What's up, Med? What's up, Ruhala? What's up, Panirolo Ryder? Sorry, I butchered that. See, I speak English, but I'm not very good at it. Next, we have Oscar. Cameron, how can I check how my keywords have performed historically? If I've restarted my campaign several times, just go to lifetime reports, man. Just go to lifetime and make sure the pause campaigns show up there. Richard Guevara. Cameron, how are you? What to do if my niche, the PPC, are between $5 to $10 per click? I don't know, man. That sucks. That's not doable. Pete, just answering Richard's question there. Neil Seaman, hey Cameron, love the content. Thanks, Neil. Question, do you lose sales ranking by closing your Amazon listing due to low stock? Yes, you do. Anytime your listing loses sales velocity or is closed, it's time after that. So if you close your listing, you're going to lose best-selling rank, sales rank over time. Okay, so how Amazon ranks BSR or your sales rank is sales in time increments. Okay, so you have like this isn't perfect. This is just, I'm guessing based on my experience, kind of how this works is they have like a week sales history, they have a month sales history, they have a 6 month sales history, 1 year sales history. That's why when you have, say, a product that's been on for 4 years selling consistently, if you run out of stock for 2 months and you get back on, you're going to have a lot easier time getting your rank back versus a new seller that just lost inventory. Okay. Cool. Victoria Sweets, thank you so much for all of your detailed videos. Can people leave reviews if they haven't bought a product from us? Technically, yes. It's called an unverified review. I wouldn't push more than 1 or 2 of these to your listing a week, and make sure you're at least selling like 10 to 15 products per week if you're doing that. If you're not, maybe push 1 every 2 weeks. Unverified reviews get looked at with much more, what's the word? Much more scrutiny. That's the word there. Okay. So just use that with caution there and just give it a try and see if it comes through, and then give another one a try in a couple weeks. Drew Ski. I was wondering if you know any of the legit stores that sell shoe boxes. Been sourcing at Nike outlets, but the lids on the shoe boxes are torn off. They never have extra boxes. No idea, Drewski. I would look on, I don't know, eBay. I don't know if it could be a generic shoebox, then there's probably tons of, probably get on Amazon. So I would look there. Mr. Joker, how to get sales when launched a new product. PPC, okay? Drive sales through PPC. The big thing here is we got to look at things twofold when we're selling products. One is traffic, one is conversion rate, okay? Okay, so if you drive traffic and you're not converting, then it's no good. So essentially we need to make sure our listing is top notch, great photos, great title, bullets to sell, A+ content, product listing, especially if there's a product we want to sell long-term. Like I have all my clients set these things up right away, just from the fact of like we've handpicked that product. So I'm feeling confident that we're going to keep selling for a long-term. If it's more of a test product, maybe you don't get the product listing, A+ content right away. But the biggest thing of conversion rate after that, and by far, is reviews. So get in the Vine program, pump reviews, do a little PPC, $10 to $20 a day, see what happens after 2 weeks, look at the data. Then after that, go look at your business reports with your order session percentage to see if that's like at least over 5%. Hopefully it's around 10%. If it's under, say, 7 to 5%, you have work to do on your listing. That could be just reviews, depending on your competition, your niche. It could be your listing. It could be a lot of things there. It could be your price. But yeah, once we get that stuff cleared up, you at least have it in your brain, like conversion rate's the most important. Then you start driving traffic to test that conversion rate. So again, PPC, it could be PPC video ads too if you're brand registered. It could be TikTok organic, YouTube Shorts, Facebook. Again, I know you guys want just a quick, easy way to do this stuff, but sometimes it's not that easy. It depends on your category. Like to me, if I can sell a product just using PPC right away, like that's a win. If I get like 50 to 60% ACost right away, I am stoked. That means I can drive unlimited traffic to my listing. Yes, it's at a little bit of a loss, but I don't have to sit out there to rank, go do TikTok influencers. Now there's some niches you get into. It's like, okay, PPC is too competitive right here. It's just not working. I need to go to these outside traffics to speed things up. Okay. And that's what you do. You got to use the data, try one thing. Then after that data comes in, make adjustments, add in a new thing, try it for 30 days, and then look at the data, then just keep optimizing. Okay. Jasco, thanks for still doing these. You're welcome. You're welcome, guys. Hopefully that was helpful in some way there. You guys get me at like the end of the workday, so sometimes I'm a little tired and not all there. Like I just ate like 100 grams of protein, and so I'm a little foggy and a little tired. But hopefully it's helpful, guys. Again, we'll keep doing this. If you guys want to get in the Facebook group, links down below. Otherwise, we'll see you on the next one. All right, guys. Bye.